My opponent's trying to expand. We now see what's going on. I'm not even there. Oh, look how much. That's crazy. Look how much damage the Bloodmage took in just a second. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Nick Oldhead video. We actually have some cool news. We passed 400 subscribers, and that just makes me so happy, right? I'm happy you guys are enjoying the Warcraft 3 as much as I am. But you know what? Let's just get into it. A little bit of background as we go over today's games, right? I have been in like a loss streak. I mean, it was bad. My undead versus orc matchup and my orc versus orc matchup is just suffering. So, you know, over the next couple videos, because we're going to have kind of a solid push here, the next couple videos we're going to talk about some of those losses. We're going to examine why I lost, but we're also going to, you know, look at the games that went well. So it's not in any particular order. I've grouped these games kind of in a rough theme. So we're going to start with an Orc Mirror match. So we'll see my opponent is also deciding to go Farseer. And at this stage, we might as well look at the build differences. So my opponent's going for the Headhunter variant, and I'm going for Grunts. So I'm already creeping here, and you see I try to make sure to have my Wolves split some damage with the Farseer. And also, look, switch the micro there so this wolf lives. This allows me to run over to my opponent's base while still creeping with the spare wolves here in the grunt. I prefer to play grunts over headhunters because I know that headhunters is like the standard, and it's sometimes safe to face another Farseer with headhunters. But for this situation, I prefer to play grunts because if my opponent plays a Blademaster, I just think that the headhunters are really vulnerable, and I also just like doing this. I like just chasing my opponent's headhunters there. So could have microed the wolf to not die, but let's continue just dealing damage here. We don't mind these trades, especially because we're able to get some damage on the Farseer, normal grunt damage. And I particularly, anytime, this is just my little weird early game micro brain, but anytime a grunt is getting hit and it's like above 400 HP, I'm okay with that. Like I'm actively okay with my high HP grunts getting hit, because you know the only thing a grunt really has going for him is that high HP. So in those situations, you're free to trade, right? Free to trade, especially because salves heal up to around 400 HP. So just a little bit of grunt theory craft there, right? I don't mind when the grunts take damage. See, but this is where the grunts get into danger territory. That grunt needs to be microed, right? Yeah, looks like I already too late. Now, luckily, it looks like the Burrow got that kill. I think the Burrow may have got that kill, or my opponent would have been level 2. But we're really pushing in here because we smell blood in the water. Oh, my God, look at that. So I was really trying to push it here because I saw that I was just in a position of a lot of damage. But let's just say I was saved in this mirror because the Burrows, not only did it get the kill on the Grunt, but the Burrows got the kill on the Farseer too. So isn't it interesting? I'm glad we're looking at this game in particular. What? Oh my God, I come back. Okay, look at this. That even surprised me. He hides though. Oh, my opponent hides. Notice how we're both pink here. This actually happens to me because I always choose pink. You can choose your color in W3 Champs, but sometimes this happens and you got to be really quick to do the allied colors or else, yeah. So my opponent smooth moves there. I wanted to get the really quick buyback because, you know, I'm an aggro freak. And my opponent says, no, I have... This is so funny, this grunt. I mean, the grunt, you can just hide now. Oh, this is bad. John. Hey, I like the idea. Tried to TP there with dust. But you know me. If you guys know this channel, this aggression hasn't stopped. I've lost a lot of grunts, but I'm tech into tier 2, which is also slower. So my opponent, in like kind of every sense of the word, has like kind of a superior build going on. But it's interesting how my continued presence and aggression in their base is, you kind of can't take advantage of your advantages. No Voodoo Lounge really punishes my opponent, and for no reason. You have so much wood. Dust? Yeah, we finally get the dust. Okay, so we finally get the dust. And now, what should I do? If you were me, what do? You have no health, you need to heal. You gotta creep. My opponent needs to buy a shop. But you know what? My opponent really has the Cloak of Shadows. You can just kind of hide your Farseer here and like creep here, and like what can I do? But no, I'm deciding to save my wolf summon here for creeping. You know, looking back on this game, I was thinking to myself, wait, maybe the correct play is to summon the wolves and chase the enemy Farseer, but nah, we're just going to creep ourselves a bit. Let's see if we can get through that. Alright, so we're level 2, we get a Shadow Hunter, so does my opponent. So we're both going Farseer Shadow Hunter, kind of the most, I think, control-heavy 2 heroes you can choose in the early game. They do peter out, though, but no Blademaster on either side is not the worst deal. So my opponent is heavy creeping, which is, like, good on you, right? You have headhunters, you need to use that DPS. But you know the old head way of scouting and also trying to keep my opponents off kilter is this aggression. Now we get really lucky that my opponent still has yet to heal, and we get a Hex pressure here. Could hide, but no, the Hex just gets it anyway. So my opponent's trying to expand. We now see what's going on. The grunts really make this sort of hero kill possible. If I had headhunters too, I just don't think you're able to secure the kills. And does the grunt? Oh, grunt dies. Wow, really min-maxed by my opponent. But you know, each hex is a kill. Yeah, so we can kill the headhunters with ease here. Farseer, Shadowhunter, really nice combo. And I don't like my opponent's decision to fight here. Like, there's very little chance you're going to get any unit kills. At this point, I would just run headhunters and the Shadowhunter behind the gold mine, right? Because I'm just... Oh, come on. I'm not going to get that headhunter. So, wolves decide to play a little footsie with my grunt. Do I get the deny? Would be nice. Oh, no, look, I hex it. Even better. So, that's definitely on purpose. You all know. When you hex something, you deny it experience when you get the kill. So, rather than sit there and try to deny the headhunter kill, you can confirm it with the hex. Makes it so my opponent doesn't get level 2. And finally, these wolves are able to do what they're meant to do and get these 2 headhunter kills, right? I mean, right? No, look at the burrow micro. Insane. Insane! Okay, good. We get 1. But there's 1 headhunter left. Come on, guys. You know I'm not about that life. Yeah. So, who knows if going grunts, shaman, is like the correct call here, but I know that this expansion, I don't mind it's going up because I've decimated my opponent's headhunter reserves. So in my head now, I'm thinking, all right, next thing to do, attack that expansion. And my opponent sees this too, puts up the watchtower, positions the heroes there. But in the small skirmishes, like, I think the only way to play grunts versus headhunters, I love the shamans here to dispel the wolves. It's actually such incredible tempo to dispel both of their wolves immediately, I think. Like, it's just because now I have wolves and you don't, and your Farseers are useless. Great. So now you've got to spend all this time to kill my wolves, and I even hex the Farseer there, so you don't get experience when you kill that wolf. It's the little things, right? So if you're gonna play grunt versus headhunters, oh, nice kill on my shaman there. Would have been nice if I saw that coming, but a little too late. Level 3, level 2 is a nice advantage point. But I really do think that part of why this game's going nice for me now is because we were a little, like, suicidal when it came to killing my opponent. Oh, nice health potion by me there. I like to, when I know I'm going for a good tempo attack, just buy a health potion. It almost always comes in handy, and it really shuts down your opponent's last-ditch effort to kill your heroes. So yeah, like I was saying, my opponent went headhunters, but I was able to keep those headhunter count low by playing really aggressive. And anyone knows when your headhunter count is low, they kind of like can't protect themselves, right? Headhunters are supposed to like be in groups of 8 or 9, so if you try to kill one, you're going to take a lot of damage. But if you only have like 3 or 4 headhunters, literally any hero like level 2 or level 3, any hero in the game can just kill 4 headhunters, right? Like, I don't think any level 2 or level 3 hero has a fear of headhunters in any way, shape, or form. So keeping the brawl sizes small. Odds. Do I lose a grunt versus forest troll, berserker, inner fire, bloodlust? Only you can decide, America. So not ideal creeping here because you want to be able to kill this shadow priest, or at least hex the shadow priest. Sometimes I have a little bit of a bad habit of when my army size is high, my creeping gets lazy. Like, okay, good, I don't lose a grunt, but I just took so much damage on these grunts, and you don't have to, right? Like, you could play this a little smarter, but Oh well, it's a little minor detail. My opponent is, you know what? I actually love this army. I like this army. I've seen players play this sort of army composition versus undead, and I think it's really good because the raiders can ensnare, and plus the Farseer wolves, it's a decent front line. But it also, like, my opponent's really making a misplay when your raiders take damage like this. I think creeping with raiders is tricky. We all know this. I have to get my little tiny crit haul up. Yeah. Creeping with raiders is tricky because they don't want them to take damage with their melee and medium armor. It's why I always like an armor upgrade. Do I get one this game? Yeah, I always like at least one armor upgrade for Orc, because armor upgrades for Orc count for all of their units, by the way. I'm not sure if you knew that. It's kind of unique racial thing. You can just choose to upgrade armor, and every unit in the Orc arsenal gets that benefit. So, you know. It looks like me and my opponent here are just getting ready for an inevitable brawl. I get my scroll of protection, another favorite in the Orc Mirror. Okay, so let's see how this fight goes. I'm going to the shop to get some more superiority, and on the surface, I like this for my opponent, right? But wait a minute, I have Bloodlust. So we got Bloodlust, Grunts, and at this point, my opponent's really just trying to kill my Shadow Hunter, hence the Raiders. But that's why we got that Invuln scroll. Notice we also have the Potion of Healing, which we can use. I believe we must get a scroll here, or buy something with the Shadow. Yep, buy a scroll. Could have brought the scroll earlier, but we still have 3 Grunts, and these Bloodlusted Grunts are going crazy. No, like, look how much damage they just did. Wow. If your heroes get near these Grunts, they just take so much damage. So, I think my opponent should have probably retreated the moment you saw Bloodlusted Grunts. It's just too much DPS with your Raider army. Oh, look at that damage. Wow. So, okay, we went for the Tier 3 play, and now, by the looks of it, you would rather be Durazion in this game than Seaquick, right? Because unfortunately the Tier 2 expansion, you didn't have a strong enough early game to warrant that expansion, so now I was able to attack it with Grunt Shaman, and the Pit Lord here is just a little Tier 3 flex. If you ever do get to Bloodlust, just Bloodlust a Pit Lord. It's like you're buying a Grunt on the way to the Brawl, and then check out this Howl of Terror, right? Brutal. So I think it's just a really good position for my units. Another scroll of protection here just to see how cool it looks with the mega Orc army. So, you know, this is what happens in an Orc Mirror when you successfully go Tier 3, or at least the Grunt Shaman play. So, yep, we are kind of forcing this issue right now, which I kind of like. We have an expansion, so we don't mind this sort of play. Think about it. Every time he's not mining, he's not getting wood, he's losing units, and he doesn't have an expansion. So the Serpent Wards are especially good here for sieging. I think Rain of Fire here would be nice, right? But I should get Cleave, right? Purge. I have mana for Purge, but man, these burrows are doing work. I want to see DPS meters on the burrows. All right, so we got the scroll, the Invuln potion on the Pit Lord here. So hey, man, a Pit Lord really provided a lot of damage and sustainability I needed to finish this push. But even if I choose to TP right now, I mean, look, I still got all these. Right? We got units building, units on the way. We have a peon on its way just to build a Voodoo Lounge. Yeah, the whole Orc army is ascending, and we get that nice little mirror match win. So, okay, right? Nice. I love Bloodlust in the Orc Farseer versus Farseer mirror because you just get that nice early spike point where you have Purge on. So yeah, that's nice. I like it. Let's continue the Orc versus Orc games, right? I'll be honest, these games are kind of when things were going well, right? This is when I was in a nice confidence arc. I was probably getting lots of sleep, playing some good games, and man, it looks like everyone is taking my pink. No, wait, no, it's just the ally colors. Okay, orange, good. So pink and orange here. Looks like we're going Blademaster. We're going to guess Blademaster here. We are both, me and my opponent are both going a similar style build. Let's look at the small details. 9 out of 10, and I'm already at 15. Okay, so I'm going Farseer and you're going Blademaster. So my opponent goes Blademaster, which means they're going to have some late game scaling. They're going to have an item superiority with the Blademaster. They're going to do better in fights that don't require micro, because if the Blademaster is just chopping away, nothing in the Orc army can out DPS that, right? So if I'm playing Farseer, I, in comparison, need to take advantage of my early game, need to take advantage of my units. So I see it right now. I see my opponent is Blademaster. Interesting moment here, because what do we do about it? A lot of choices we could have made. He could have kept going straight to the shop. I could have kept going straight to his base, but I decide to chase him with the wolves. He wind walks, so we don't get the target on him, and now he buys the circlet. I decide to have my grunt go back home, because I don't know if he's going to my base right now, right? So the grunt goes back home just to protect, and now I'm here. I see he has a grunt, so might as well start attacking it. And okay, looks like I spotted your Blademaster with the wolves. So I know what's going on here. Let's go back to my vision so we can kind of get in my head here. So I know what's going on here. I see, okay, I have these wolves. It's the early game, and I can't lose a wolf, right? So the whole goal here is not lose a wolf and disrupt what the enemy Blademaster is doing. The reason we have to disrupt what the Blademaster is doing and not vis-a-vis is because the Blademaster is just a scarier hero than the Farseer when you get levels. Now this barracks, believe it or not, Nick, this barracks is no threat to you. So my decision to attack this barracks, it's kind of akin to knocking on the door. It's me saying, listen, I don't know where you are, Blademaster, but I'm just deciding to attack you. And that attack has, like, it now includes grunts. So before you know it, my opponent has an issue. I'm positioning the grunts here so that the peons can't get a repair. And now, yeah, I'm just deciding to play it this way. My wolves go try to chase away that grunt, and now we see we can get 3 units nice attacking that developing burrow here. So we already kind of see the way this game is going. My base is not disrupted. I'm just able to do things how I want, but my opponent's base disrupted, right? I could have kept the grunts around there, questionable, but I was getting hit by burrows, I guess. Running away with my Farseer, getting out of burrow range, and yeah, look, I'm still going after the racks. Now we love this, right? In the small orc versus orc micro, you're always trying to gang up 1 unit versus 4. I just decide to TP right there, and it's an interesting decision to TP because I want my units to stay here. And I TP because he used a wind walk. So the moment he used a wind walk, I knew that I wanted to TP to not take that damage. And now I also wanted to TP because I needed to get back to my shop and heal. I also wanted to TP there because my opponent doesn't have a Voodoo Lounge. So me TPing is essentially getting access to my shop faster. So you notice how this aggression, like, it all started with this kind of funny decision to attack the barracks. But, like, he is spending time repairing it because I attacked it to a point where it's not an empty threat. I may actually just destroy your barracks and then the whole game feels weird. So now these grunts get salved up. Love to see it. And in my opinion right now, we're doing great. We're winning because, you know, we have, need to get Naga here, or maybe the Fire Lord. Okay, we get Naga here because we definitely can't just let the Blademaster do this for free. Now, we probably conceded he was going to get at least 1 grunt kill there, but it can't just be free reign. We are going with the Naga push, and yeah, this is a pretty good situation for me. I decide to bring in peons as well because let's finish the game, not just put on some pressure. My opponent gets his shop online, and it would be nice if I have the presence of mind to cancel the healing. I guess I don't see it. Do I have pillage? No, but I'm getting backpack. So we're researching backpack. Do we change the rally point to the shop? Let's see if we do that. My opponent's Shadowhunter comes out, and I have a keen advantage here in the early game because I have double ranged heroes, right? Look at this. Barracks is still like public enemy number 1. No, we're staying outside your base. And what are we doing? Just taking damage because the towers are coming up. Okay, nice. Little grunt tower rush. And we kind of sense blood here. We're like, wait, what are you doing? You can't just get cornered in your own base here. I have 2 ranged heroes, and that's exactly what happens. Look, this is a nice little setup. You know, the towers run up. And, you know, teching to tier 3 when you have a level 2 Blademaster like this versus Farseer, it's like you're asking to get cheesed or to get rushed. It would be nice if the Naga switched here and saved these grunts, right? But no, we're going for the Blademaster. 3 grunts living, but grunts can turn on this low HP one. Now, I really need some items here. So, yeah, I can sense it. So, my grunt... Oh, no, the Blademaster chopping away, but the Naga doesn't let him do it for free, right? Yeah, so the Naga has to protect these grunts here. And yes, this grunt needs to buy salves. So this grunt buys salves because the home front needs it. Interesting that one of these could have just been a voodoo lounge, right? But no, we get a tower up, and laughably we start creeping. Like, the tower starts creeping, and we're getting gold at least, but we do lose a grunt. My opponent now has enlisted the aid of the mercenaries here. But, you know, we've just successfully done so much damage that it doesn't matter, you know. We get to kill your blade, and now Naga is just such a powerful hero in the early game. You know, comparatively to Hex, every single time the Naga fires an arrow, you get the benefit of the CC. So it really compounds with interest. The value here, right? Like, come on, how are you gonna... What a perfect way to end the game there. You meet up with a Naga, and you get a cold arrow to the face. Alright, GG's. So, we love to see it, right? This is another... So this was a good day. June 8th. June 8th. I was killing it. What happened June 8th? Why did I have so many great games? And look on the calendar, yeah? My opponent is a human opponent here. Delo, the human opponent. Now versus human... you know, I love plenty of different builds. Firelord is almost always present in my human games. And we're going a lot of Farseer. So, hey, I think we found the theme in this video. Farseer, right? I've been enamored with the 3 wolf daddy. The seer of all far things. The CEO of Chain Lightnings. The Farseer, right? We have a Pala rifle build that's known by its typical blacksmith. And let's focus a little bit on Pala rifle decision making. Part of the decision making of Pala rifle is split damage, always, right? Part of why you want to do split damage like this is because, one, you know it's a Pala rifle player, so they have to be worse than you in micro. Right? No, I'm kidding. But it's because you want to really pressure the Paladin player's ability to heal one thing efficiently. So, okay, we don't lose a wolf there. We've split damage here. Do you have to kill? I mean, do you have to heal the peasant? Yes, you do. So nice. You see what we've done? We've forced the Paladin to heal 2 units. And it's really because we split the damage. Now, every time we are able to get a free hit like this, we're happy to see it. There are many ways to combat the Pally rifle. When I play Firelord, you see me try to combat the Pally rifle by focusing on the Paladin. But when you play Farseer, you actually, it's like you're trying to pad the damage meters in a Heroes of the Storm game. You're just trying to do damage. Doesn't matter if it's to a rifleman, doesn't matter if it's to a paladin. You just want to spread the damage because you just want the human army to be wounded. A nice resummon there. We're not getting any wolf kills. Now, a little bit of miss micro by my opponent here. Cautionary tale. When you see the enemy Farseer summon wolves in your face, focus the wolves, right? You see my opponent gave up focusing the wolves when I resummoned them and started focusing headhunters. No, my cooldown on summon wolves is at the highest right now. So the wolves are vulnerable. The wolves can be bullied. What you don't want to do is focus wolves when you haven't seen them summoned. Because when you haven't seen the wolves summoned, then you almost know for certain they were summoned pre-combat and the Farseer has the cooldown up, so any sort of damage on the wolves is pointless. So just a little note there. See, so I summoned wolves in my opponent's face, so you know that they can get killed. Now we decided to just sick the wolves on the Paladin. I like this decision, right? I like zoning the Paladin out of the fight, so you're eventually just kind of free to deal with these non-range rifleman. Do I get the kill? Does he get the kill here? No, good. The tower gets the kill here. So we're doing as much damage as we can, and, you know, we're preventing the creeping. We're preventing the creeping, but what's going on back at home? Back at home, we have a Voodoo Lounge coming up, and this is the most standard I think I've played in a long time, and I'm kind of proud of myself. I'm trying to get past, you know, the first wolf killed there, but it's because we're really going after the Paladin. We don't mind that, right? Yeah, we kill the Paladin. So beautiful, right? My opponent chose not to TP, which is the wise move. If you TP, you die anyway. We've seen it a million times, right? If you TP, you die anyway. And there's 0 chance I am going to lose my Farseer here. So we just TP. And the reason we TP is, it's twofold. This is a get back to my shop ASAP and continue the domination of the map and creeping. Something I don't like to happen is here, right here. If I was still in the opponent's grill right there with a really low Farseer and low HP headhunters, I likely have to retreat anyway. But now I'm like, my Paladin opponent has the momentum, like the creeping momentum. They're full health, I'm not full health, all that. So now as we get these upgrades, the steel range weapons and troll regen, we figure, yeah, this is the time we want to be going down mid lane and just pressing the attack again, right? So yeah, so we press the attack, but we're doing it so much stronger than my Pala Rifle opponent. Look how much more headhunters we have. So yeah, we're doing damage. We're really keen on not losing a headhunter here. Okay, good. Wow, I'm glad we didn't lose a headhunter here. Nice salve micro. Wolf could have blocked that and done some damage, but okay. Unfortunately, my opponent is getting XP from wolves, but very low HP riflemen. We're able to secure some containment as we get the Fire Lord. Now, interesting, many players would creep there, right? I wouldn't fault you if you decide to creep, but there's also one way of playing, and it's just keep attacking, right? Keep attacking. So we're just chasing the Pally Rifle player, and we soul burn immediately, and now we're doing damage. So we know this is our little window of opportunity. Doesn't matter that the Bloodmage is out. We have soul burn. Okay. There's one. We're going to do some damage. And soul burn. Yeah, so you definitely lose a rifleman here. Can't heal that one. We're doing some split damage. We could just kill that one, but we're split damaging, right? Because eventually the soul burn's going to run out. And we're going to... Nope, never mind. Soul burn again. So we're just trading riflemen. We're headhunters. Kind of a brutalist way here. We eventually get some mana drain. But that's nice. We have 2 headhunters splinter off here from this main group to just start doing some damage. 1 rifleman down. At this point, the headhunters need to move in here. Yeah. Move in there. Move in there. Uh-oh. Things are getting dangerous. My Pally Rifle opponent is in a nice position now. I think I should have left maybe 2 clicks ago. 2 clicks ago should have left. Ooh, but this is the new tech versus Pally Rifle. The ephemeral walker there. In ethereal form, I mean. But I really do like a Spirit Link in this situation. And my Pally Rifle player, wow, feeling confident, body blocking with the Paladin there. But look at what Spirit Link did. Spirit Link says, okay, it's not that easy to die. And I'm actually okay with you taking damage. I especially like the Fire Lord in this situation because mana or not, it's a ranged agility hero in a matchup that often doesn't allow you to go and agility hero, right? Like the popular builds versus Pally Rifle want you to go like Panda or TC second, but I just feel as if that plays into what the Bloodmage is trying to do. So all that time I was fighting and it was all out. My Pally opponent's only 1 and 2, and I'm up to Tauren. So I love Tauren when you get a Pally Rifle opponent on the ropes like this because it feels like your third hero is just a pulverized damage increase Tauren, and we also get the Shadow Hunter. So this is a little new tech 3 ranged hero composition versus the Pally Rifle opponent. I especially like what it does versus the normal dynamics is because the Paladin becomes the only melee hero in this game, and every unit is ranged, so like the Paladin just gets focused a lot. So much so that let's see how this works. So my opponent creeps jacks me, right? And my opponent's like, yes, let's fight. But I actually think this is great for me. I have 3 heroes. I get the Forest Troll to ensnare. This is awesome. I have a Tauren. Dude, thank you. I'm glad I killed that. So let's see what happens here, right? We hex there just to stop the drain. We should have another soul burn up, and we hex it again to stop that drain. We also have Soul Burn available in 5 mana. It's available now. Oh, but got drained. So really fast on the opponent's drains there. That Hex maybe could have been there, but I wanted to stop the heal. So look at this Tauren. This Tauren's just doing work. Didn't want my Fire Lord to get surrounded there, but I think I can turn and fight this. I don't mind this one bit. Maybe the Nick that's playing this game is worried I'm going to lose a Tauren, but the Nick that's watching this game is like, bro, they're just 0 armor. Yeah, look at that. 0 armor rifleman. Just turn and burn. 1 Shadow Hunter for 2, 3 riflemen. All right. That's a happy trade. Tauren with that upgraded pulverize is just so satisfying. Like, I don't care if you heal. I do so much damage. We got 3 Taurens now. And the Fire Lord doing what he does best, being a agility hero in these trying times. Able to just walk away because you have such high armor and nice walk animation. So now we got 3 Taurens, and I just buy the healing potion because we're okay. Shadowhunter's back. You know we don't mind level 1 hero deaths. So at this point, my opponent's riflemen are kind of scattered. Right, you have a tech to tier 3, which should mean Griffins right now, right? What's my opponent's macro? Yeah, so my opponent's kind of slipping on macro. I think, in hindsight, the moment you see Taurens, I think maybe you just build a Griffin Avery, right? But let's see how this works. So noticeably, we don't have any healing for these Taurens, as in we don't have Master Witch Doctors, and we don't have the Master Spirit Walkers. Now, I don't have a Walker. I'm missing a Spirit Walker in this army. We do get the Tiny Great Hall, and let's defend that Tiny Great Hall decision, right? So we have the Hex here on the Bloodmage. My opponent also gets the Fire Lord because he sees Tauren, but I'm not even there. Oh, look how much. That's crazy. Look how much damage the Bloodmage took in just a second. So increased pulverize is just like, you really can't fight into this many Tauren. Oh yeah, I remember this game. I for some reason went Farsight this game. I remember being inspired by Starbuck. Instead of going Chain Lightning, he went Farsight. It is interesting how much mana my Farseer has. Let's see if I can get some other good value Farsights from this game. Tauren are doing their thing. I sometimes think Dire Wolves are like strictly worse than Chain Lightning level 2 when the when the Pala rifle opponent has a critical mass of riflemen, then level 2 wolves get focused too quickly. So you might as well just go level 2 Chain Lightning. But this game, I'm not even going Chain Lightning, I'm going Farsight. So, alright. Feeling good. So the mini expansion is up and running. And there comes a point where you just have to send it. And this is that point. We have double Gloves of Haste, Fire Lord. Oh, look at the pulverize value. Come on, pulverize. Get in a pulverize. Yeah. Nice. One more. Oh, shoot. My Farseer dying. So we're really sending it here. I mean, this is how you throw a game, mind you. But we have an expansion, and I suppose we're really high off of the good feeling of Tauren pulverize. So we're like, yeah, we're winning. But then actually, oh, we are losing. So thankfully, though, that expansion allows us to just buy the Farseer back from the tavern. We still don't get a Walker, so in hindsight, how could I improve this build? Well, I prefer to have 2 Tauren Totems and at least 1 Walker to help with Spirit Link, but hey, it's okay. The Tauren Totems are Taurening, the Pulverize is pulverizing, and I'm not worried for this game at all. Like, when you just reach this critical mass of Taurens, I don't think the Pala Rifle player can, like, beat you in open combat like this. Because, like, unless you're, like, at Starbuck's level of kiting. See, like, they need to be kiting. Every time they take one of these improved pulverize damages, I mean, this is, like, my MMR level meta. You cannot take damage from one of these improved pulverize when you're trying to play Pala Rifle. The math just doesn't add up. Yeah. The math just doesn't math. That one little bit of healing that defines the strategy, just it's not enough. Okay, so looks like my Farsight this game is only in BM. There's no reason to be Farsighting here. All right, okay. Is this game over? The triple ranged hero is fun though. I like triple ranged because sometimes, right, Farseer, Shadow Hunter is like, oh, you have no DPS. Well, that's why the Fire Lord's here with level 2 Incinerate. Tutum, tutu. So much damage. Nope, doesn't matter. That Holy Light is like countered by Incinerate. You see, because Incinerate wants you to just do damage to the same target, and then you get infinite damage scaling. And Holy Light wants you to do damage to the same target. Like, it wants you to just keep damaging. So eventually there comes a point where the Fire Lord can just, like, call out the Paladin's bluff. And was like, oh, okay, yeah, like, you want me to do that? Sure.
Heli rifle down! Destroyed! No chance!